Welcome back everybody to another episode, and in today's episode, by request, we're going to be going over my duck hunting loadout. Now what I mean about that is, like I said, I've been receiving quite a few questions of people wondering what I use for equipment in detail. Now I figured this would be a good opportunity to go through if I'm going on a solo hunt, or if I'm going to like a small public marsh with me and just one other buddy, or just like I said, a solo hunt. This is gonna be the gear that I bring. I'm gonna go through everything from my gun, my waders, every single thing that I am going to be bringing with me to go duck hunting. But like I said, I'm gonna go through in detail everything that I have, and it's basically my duck hunting loadout. What I bring out there with me, why I have it, and why I think it's super effective, especially for a solo duck hunter. So this might be a video for a solo duck hunter. If you guys are into duck hunting and you're getting into it and you want to start doing things like a beginner level by yourself kind of thing, or you can only get out by yourself, you guys are going to see exactly what I have. It's nothing fancy that I have, guys. Everything I have here is super available for someone's budget. Everything I have is pretty much the minimal things you'd need for duck hunting, really. There's nothing super fancy about the equipment I have. It's super budget friendly. All right, so I'm going to put the coffee down here and we will start off with the number one thing that you would absolutely need for duck hunting. So first, guys, I have here is my shotgun. Now this shotgun right here is a Stoeger M3000, so it's a semi-auto shotgun here, guys. It's 28-inch barrel. I figure you might as well go with a longer barrel if you can. And then I have a Carlson's cremator long range choke on here. It's just basically an extended full choke. I like shooting a full choke. If you can figure out where to aim on birds with a full choke, it's super nice having one. You're never gonna have to worry about injuring the bird. You're pretty much gonna cripple them up right away. Like I said, the Stoeger M3000, guys, I've had no problems with this gun. Love the gun, honestly, and it's a really good budget option shotgun here. You can buy these brand new for like, I want to say like 550 bucks. You can get these brand new and dipped as well. So I think I paid like 550 for this one here, brand new from Shields. So it's a super budget friendly option if you're looking for a cheaper and more reliable semi-auto shotgun. Some people have said that their Stoegers, they've had issues with them in the past. Personally, I've had no issues with this gun. I've talked to the few other people who have this gun as well before I even bought this, and they've had no issues with it. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I've had no issues. I know some people have and are probably going to comment that they've had issues with the Stoeger. That's fine if you guys want to comment that. But yeah, it's a super slick gun. So if you guys are in the market for a shotgun or something like that, go ahead and check out a Stoeger M3000. So the very next thing, guys, I have is waders. Now these are my Frog Tog waders here. Love these waders, guys. They're 1200 gram thin slate. I love that they already have a little spot for your shotgun shells. Nice good pockets. The reason I bought these waders here, guys, is I used a pair when I was first getting into duck hunting and they fit well, and I just liked them, so I ended up buying a pair. Like I said, they're 1200 gram thin slate. Some people like to go to 1400 or 1600 gram thin slate, especially in the colder duck hunting months around here, which is fine as well. I wish these were a little bit warmer, but they're neoprene waders. They do the trick, and I have no complaints about them, except for the fact that I wish I was a little bit taller and I could fit the straps a little bit better on these. But for the most part, they're super nice. They have plenty of pockets in here. This velcros up and you got another pocket to put stuff in as well. And then you also have a little pocket here for, like, your phone or something like that, so you don't want to get it wet. Once again, these Frog Togs are pretty budget friendly. I think I paid like $160 for these, something like that, but super good waders. They have a waist buckle as well. I can't say enough about them. They're really good. Haven't had any issues with them at all. No tears, nothing like that. They work really well. I've had these ones for like 2 seasons now and worked them like heck, so no problems. Next thing that I have here is a blind bag. Now this is just a backpack, guys. I don't actually have a blind bag. All I use is my backpack. I just like the way it carries. You can throw it on your back. A blind bag, you have like the one strap or whatever, but backpack works fine. Fits all my stuff in there, all my shells, anything else that I might need, food, water for the day, anything like that. I have no complaints. I really like this backpack specifically. This is one that I use for bow hunting as well, so when I go out to the stand, it can carry all my stuff in there. It has a lot of good pockets on here to carry a lot of extra gear. I always carry a bunch of stuff in here. I'll also go through what's in this bag as well. Let's get into the bag here. I'll show you guys what I'm carrying in this bag. Now the first thing I always carry a pair of gloves with as well, extra pair, because sometimes, you know, the other ones get wet. So I always carry an extra pair of gloves in the backpack. Also carry hand warmer. This thing's really nice. This one is really thin insulated, but I love carrying a hand warmer. Just throwing some in there as well to keep your hands warm out in the stand. You'll thank me later, especially on those colder months when you still got gloves on, they're a little cold, or you went and grabbed a duck out of the water and your hands are cold. You could throw them in here and warm yourself up. Also have in my backpack, but once I get out to the stand I throw them on, is my duck calls here and goose calls. So I've got 3 different duck calls on here, and then I've got a couple different goose calls, but this is my lanyard. It's always nice having a lanyard because your duck calls are just right there next to you at all times, so if you need to grab one and get after it. I have 3 different calls, or duck calls, like I said. Sometimes, you know, the ducks like a little bit different tone of a call, so you know, these duck calls, you know, they all have different ones. This one's a double reed. This one's a double reed, but a little more raspier, and this is a single reed, so it's not as raspy, but you never know what the duck wants. And then I've got a couple goose calls on here. This one's like a deeper goose call. I think this sounds the best, and this one's a little more high pitched. If I was to pick between the two, I'd probably run this one exclusively. Super nice call. It just sounds, in my opinion, it sounds better than this one. And lastly, I carry you know, some rounds in the bag. I just you know, pretty much I shoot whatever's the cheapest, to be honest. This is cheap round. I don't get fancy really with rounds at all. A lot of people are probably going to comment that they use a lot of different rounds and that these suck. You know, personal preference, but you know, I just buy what's the cheapest because, you know what? Whatever. You can find it in my bag right now, but I also carry like a little handsaw with me in case you have to do some cutting to make a blind or something like that. Always have a handsaw with, or just something to cut with. Now on to the next thing that takes up the most room is going to be my bag of decoys here, guys. You can see this thing is just loaded with decoys. These are all mallard decoys with some mallard butts in there as well. But I have probably 20 decoys in this bag right here. That is about perfect for me, because I will be showing you guys my canoe later that I use for duck hunting. But 20 decoys fits perfect. That's about the perfect amount for solo hunting, in my opinion. You know, just like a dozen and a half. But like I said, I got 20 in here. Takes up a good chunk in the canoe there, but works super well. These decoys I got super cheap. My buddy actually hooked me up with some for free, which was really awesome. And then these other decoys I picked up for like 40 bucks for a dozen. So super cheap and super easy setup here. These bags that you have, this bag that holds the decoys is also super cheap as well. Next thing that I like to bring with me, guys, is a jerk cord. A jerk cord is a super cheap option, and you just throw some decoys and you basically carry this end out, and then you can pull on it. Moves the decoys back and forth, makes the spread look more lively. They're also, like I said, cheaper option, and doesn't take up a lot of space in the canoe, and it's not a whole lot to set up as well. Also, if I'm not gonna bring the jerk cord, which I don't have one with me, I usually end up borrowing one from my father-in-law or my buddy Dylan, is like a Mojo, Lucky Duck, you know, just any spinning wing really, I'll throw in there. I usually only bring one with me, so it'll be like, I'll bring like the bag of decoys, like my 20 decoys, with a spinning wing is a really good setup for me, or a jerk cord. So now I'm gonna spin the camera on it and show you guys the canoe that I use. All right guys, so there is the canoe that I use right here. All this canoe is pretty small, and what I like about it is that it is small. If it's 2 people, you can see there's a seat there and a seat back there, but if it's 2 people, pretty comfortably, I can throw all my decoys, all my gear pretty much right in the middle, or next to my feet right here while I sit and paddle. But this canoe was tan to start with, and I actually camoed it. All I did was I bought some spray paint. I have a video that I made actually, so I'll link it in the description below, but all I did was I just camoed this whole entire thing. And how I did that is I bought spray paint, about like, I don't know, like under 15 bucks for all the spray paint, and then I grabbed some weeds and stuff, and basically just took some weeds and a branch from a willow tree, and I used it as a stencil and sprayed the canoe. Super easy to do to camo this thing, not much at all to get this camo, but like I said, this canoe here works perfect, guys. Super slick deal. So there you guys go, video by request, my duck hunting loadout. Like I said, this is specifically my loadout for if I'm going out by myself most of the time. I'm pretty much gonna rock the canoe. Like this Friday, I'm going to be taking my canoe and doing a little public marsh hunt. So I'll be going out by myself. I'm gonna be making like a solo challenge video for that. But this will be all the gear that I'm taking, just the decoys. I'm gonna look into getting borrowing a mojo or spinning wing deal, and then just, you know, that's everything that I have. I bring my camera gear with, but I'm not gonna list that for you guys because some of you don't film your duck hunts, so it's just extra gear that I bring with me. It doesn't take up a lot of space. I have a nice Pelican case that basically everything can sit on top of it without hurting my camera gear. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you like these kind of videos, give me a big thumbs up. Also, I was thinking about doing a choke tube video or maybe patterning a gun. If you guys would like to see that, comment it down below as well, and I can make those videos. Like I said, remember to like and subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.